The legend has been reborn, introducing the new Hoyo de Monterey. At Hoyo, they're about craft. From seed to soil to sunshine and rain, they obsess over their labors. With skillful hands and passionate souls, they create. They do not settle. They do not concede. They are Hoyo de Monterey, and this is their craft. Experience the uniquely handcrafted Hoyo de Monterey at hoyocigars.com. Paying homage to the Mecca of tobacco, Pinar del Rio, Cuba, Abe Flores opened his PDR cigar factory in the Dominican Republic over 10 years ago. Abe is one of the hottest boutique cigar makers in the industry today, earning the number 10 spot on Cigar Aficionado's Top 25 Cigars of 2014 with the Abe Flores 1975 Serie Privada. Abe and his team use Cuban blending traditions in a modern boutique Dominican factory. Smoke PDR cigars and cut, light, and taste what they love to do. Every new blend borrows from the past, and the Saga Blend No. 7, it is the perfect combination of timeless knowledge of traditional tobaccos and the newer balance that today's cigar enthusiasts come to expect and love in a fine cigar. Leveraging 6 generations of experience and tradition of the Reyes family, the Saga Blend No. 7 delivers a unique, full-flavored, medium-bodied cigar. The cigar is highlighted by a Brazilian wrapper over a blend of Central American and Dominican tobacco. Available in 3 sizes at an affordable price, the Saga Blend No. 7 is sure to please and bring together past and present. Brought to you by Rocky Patel Premium Cigars. The sun-grown Maduro is hand-rolled at Rocky Patel's boutique factory in Esteli, Nicaragua. This triple-capped, hand-bunched, and hand-rolled cigar is accompanied by a gorgeous broadleaf wrapper. Well-balanced, rich, and decadent, it truly is a great addition to any humidor and worthy of bearing the long-respected sun-grown name. For more information, visit them on the web at rockypatel.com and be sure to follow Rocky Patel Premium Cigars on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Hello. Hey, welcome back, everyone, to the Stogie Geek Show. I want to remind everyone that there will be a contest at the end of this segment, end of the show.
Can
so
I
make
be
sure
involved
you
in
tune
this?
in.
Can I win?
It's a one cigar from 5 of our sponsors. So 5 different sponsors. It's one. Do we have the picture of it? There's one from M. Bombay. There's one from PDR. There's one from Rocky Patel. There's one from Saga Cigars, and I think there's one more in there. No, I didn't have any. I didn't have any debonair because I smoke them all.
Oh, that's
I could have helped out just a little. I'll tell you
Partagas.
what.
That was
There's a Partagas in there.
I'll tell you what. I'll add the debonair.
There you go. Stogie Santa will add that. Then I'll give one from my.
Gotta bring the debonair in.
I'll add one from my collection.
But the only thing is, can I enter this contest?
No, you're
the
ineligible.
But I can, right?
Yeah.
For him, we're splitting.
But put that picture back up. That's a M. Bombay A.
That's an A.
That's an A-size cigar. That's like 3 hours. Look how tall that is compared to the other ones.
Yeah.
That is an A-size cigar.
That Partagas next to it is a double Corona.
Double Corona.
Yeah. Give you an idea how big that A is. Yeah.
I'll tell you what. The PDR, the Maduros, I'm in love with.
I do like their Maduros and the Oscuro both are really good.
Yeah, the PDR. I know that the Habano got all the raves, and
I like the Maduro.
So. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
I think that Maduro is very, very good. Anyway, here we go.
Will, over to you. Why don't you kick us off?
I thought we just real quick just talk to Taylor to see. Just give us maybe a quick rundown what's happening at EPC.
Thank you very much. So on Monday, we started shipping a new size of the inch Maduro. It is an 8 by 58 inch. Wow. It's beautiful smoke. You were talking about 3-hour smokes, and I think that one definitely fits the bill. So that did just start shipping this Monday, and looking at an MSRP of $10 a stick, depending where you're at. As I said, oh, go ahead.
Is that in all 3 of the inch lines, or is it just the inch and the Maduro? Is it natural Maduro or C99?
Just the Maduro for now.
Okay, so it's and is it called? What's it called? Like the number 58? Are they calling it?
Right now, it is the inch 8 by 58. Comes in its own box.
Okay.
And boxes of how many?
Boxes of 24.
Wow,
Wow. Okay.
that's a big cigar.
It is
That's all. What did you say the MSRP was?
$10 a stick.
Wow.
3 hours of smoking time for $10, right?
And that's
I-
already
We've had this
you can't
conversation
get a
lot,
movie
so
for
it's-
that.
Yeah.
And no, you can't get a movie for that anymore.
And Ernesto, when it comes to big ring cigars, one of the specialists. I'm
Yes.
just saying.
He's
I'm
one
just
of the
throwing that out.
original
Yeah,
big ring gauge
yeah.
cigars. It's what he
Okay.
knows.
What's our next segment here?
Coop, why don't you kick us off?
All right. So, Stogies of the week. I'll start off with a cigar from Crux, the Crux Sports. This is a short smoke that I think Crux has done a good job at cornering that short thinner ring gauge market. They've seemed to find a good niche with that. And with the sports, what they're doing is they have a 4 5/8 by 35 petite panatella. They're sold in 5-packs, and the cigars go for like $3.75 a cigar in that 5-pack. So you get 5 of them. It's like, you're getting close to like $18 range. But Habano Jalapa wrapper, Indonesian binder, Nicaraguan filler. I'm normally not one for the cigarillos, to be honest with you. I just don't really subscribe to the short smoke experience. I kind of really like having that unwinding time and long. But that being said, I think this was a solid release by Crux. I'm not ready to put it up there with the Connoisseur, which I think is probably
the Connoisseurs. I tell you what, I wish I could do more with. I think that Connoisseur is a really good smoke.
really good. It's a Lancero line they did.
What was the other one they did? A 5-pack similar to that before that.
The Skeeters.
Skeeters.
Yeah.
Would they tweak the blend, or is it something totally new?
Totally new. It's a little bigger. It's what I like about this. That Skeeters was a little too small for me.
Yeah, me too. But the Connoisseurs, I tell you what, that I agree with you. And they got another one coming up with a collaboration with Skip that's out of this world.
That's that PB5.
I had that about, I forgot, was it Casey or who's the other gentleman involved?
Dan Welsh? Oh, no.
Not Dan Welch, is with Surrogates.
Oh, it's Surrogates?
Yeah,
Dan Welsh, Casey, and Casper.
No. Excuse me. With we were just, God, I tell you, lack of sleep.
Crux. Are you talking about Crux?
Yeah.
I don't know the guy. I think there's a guy named Jeff and a guy named Joel.
Joel came down to the shop maybe about 3 or 4 or 5 months ago. He personally handed me the collaboration with Skip. What is it, D4 or D something?
PB5 Limitada.
Oh, I'm going to tell you something. I'm gonna be the first one to call this. It's going to be a huge, huge, huge thing for Crux. Unbelievable smoke.
And what size is this one?
It's like if I remember right, it was like a Toro, maybe 6x52, something like that. I don't. It's been, I can't remember yesterday.
Because a lot of the Crux ones are really thin.
That's a big.
Gauges,
this is something out of this world. I didn't
realize that was a Skip cigar, to be honest with you.
It's a collaboration.
Right.
It's a collaboration with Skip.
It's a 5 3/4 by 54.
Okay, I'm off by an inch or two, and
but you were in the
in the realm. I think this is for the crossover market. That maybe that little niche of what they do. Wait till they smoke this cigar. I'm telling you, and it wasn't. I'll call this close, all of box worthy. I'll tell you, very good.
I mean, the sports, it's worth a $5. I mean, it's worth picking up one of those 5-packs. The medium-bodied smoke. It like I said, I wouldn't say very inexpensive cigar too. But what was interesting is I kind of didn't think of it as a short smoke, and it just smoked. It didn't smoke like a cigarillo. Is the best way to put it.
And there was a cigar. You probably think I'm going to be crazy. I really enjoyed, and unfortunately I couldn't sell them. The Skeeter Maduros. Do you ever do the Maduro?
Yeah.
What you think?
They're good. The Maduro is the one I like better.
Yeah, me too. Anyway, next.
So this next cigar comes from the best smelling person in the cigar industry. This is the 1502 XO.
I have this one too. So
Okay, interesting.
Wow.
So this is
tell me something about this.
Aged 18-year tobacco in this cigar. It's a very special 15.
It's aged 18.
Aged 18 years.
In the bale, right?
Yeah.
in the filler,
Yeah.
right? Well, it's not the wrapper; it's in the
No,
filler.
it can't be the
Enrique,
wrapper.
Enrique was on the show. He said there's a component of it in the filler. It's similar to what Casada did with the Reserva per bottle.
All right.
So when you cut the cigar and do the dry draw, you just get some really interesting flavors. Like you can't really put your finger on it. Like it's not. It's different than a lot of other cigars in terms of like the dry draw. When you smell the foot, it's like, oh my god.
Oh, yeah.
Like
You know something? I'd like to go back. We all, as Stogie Geeks, sometimes forget something similar or something important. Paul, I think it'd be important to tell the listeners that who may be a newbie. Could you explain a dry draw? No. It sounds sometimes we forget these things.
So what I tend to do is I tend to like wet the end before I cut it, and it's just like a habit thing. I don't know how much, like sometimes when you cut a cigar, like it'll unravel or kind of shred a little bit. It depends on the cutter you use or like
how deep you cut
how
it.
good you are or how deep you cut, right? So like I always tend to wet the end of the cigar, put it in my mouth and wet it, and then I cut it. When I put it in my mouth, I was like I kind of was like, wow, like there's some really like sweetness coming off this like already. And then you cut it. And then you take a draw, like as if you're smoking it, but you're not lighting it yet. Don't light it yet.
Cold draw, they call
Do
it.
a cold draw or a dry draw on that first. And most cigars will have like this little like spicy, peppery component that'll hit you. But this one was just like really interesting.
Like cocoa powder.
It was really interesting, the flavors you got. And then when you light it up, let me tell you, the flavors. I mean,
Is it a box press, Paul?
it is a box pressed,
Okay.
box pressed Toro. And very unique smoke, very unique flavors. I would put this in a box where these go in boxes of 10.
Wow.
Will.
Box
of
worthy?
10.
Yeah,
Yeah.
box of 10. Because it's so unique. It's got a lot more strength than a 1502 Emerald. So I think it's going to hold up in terms of aging. I think this cigar is going to age awesome, Will. I don't know what your assessment was of it. But
Yeah. Now we talk about the strength. I thought there was a big spike in strength
yes.
in the last part of that cigar.
No, I agree.
So what was interesting about that? I've only
Third
smoked
coupe?
two of these.
The last
I've only-
third?
The last third, yeah.
The last third. I went on to as I was kind of writing up my review on that, I went on the website and they had Enrique does these little graphs, right? And on his little graph, he had a strength profile, and that's exactly the point, which I normally, would take. I may not agree with it because it's always your own palate, but that thing it kind of spikes is what it will do. But there's still plenty of strength early on. It's definitely a stronger cigar. And Paul, I agree. I think that this is box worthy now. And my kind of feeling on this thing is you want to put some of these away because I think they're gonna get better.
Did you have the same experience, Will, in terms of like the cold draw and just like the flavors that you got seemed like really unique and like really in your face kind of thing?
They were definitely unique. The way the flavors balanced out in this cigar were unique. It wasn't like anything Enrique's done before, but I couldn't. Sometimes you'll smoke a cigar and you can say it smokes like cigar X, smokes like cigar Y. I couldn't really put my finger with this one on it.
It almost had like a flavor profile like when you drink like scotch or bourbon or cognac, right? Like it had that kind of feel or component to it.
So break down does it have the components of the binder, wrapper, filler, or is it
None.
Is it none?
None.
He's not disclosed it.
Interesting. And any idea what the MSRP?
Yeah, it's not cheap. It's a $17.75 cigar.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean they're coming in numbered boxes with serial numbers on it. I mean, he did go all out with the packaging on this thing. It's typical Enrique box press with the partially covered foot. He calls it a cigar lock.
Partially. I never heard of a partially covered foot. Explain that, please.
Well, what happens is there's a little bit of wrapper. When they put the wrapper on it goes a little longer than the cigar. So what they take is they take that wrapper and they kind of put it around the circumference of the foot. So you'll still see some exposed filler, but there's a little bit of wrapper.
All right, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
All right, okay.
Even at that price point, I'd still hold firm in box worthy because it's interesting.
This is one of his best cigars I think he's done, and it's probably one of the best ones under that Boutique United Emilio profile that I've seen in a while. So I agree. I think, and he
is
said
it a limited run?
Yes,
it's a limited run in this size, which is a 6x50 Toro. but it's going to be an annual. It's going to be kind of what they're doing with the Racines, L'Atelier, a different size every year.
Back to you, Will.
I smoked a cigar from Fred Rui. It is the Nomad Therapy Habano. This was he's come out with these therapy cigars, which they're sold in trays as opposed to boxes. So it's kind of, in terms of packaging, it's very simple. It's got a simple band. We were just talking about packaging. He came out with a Connecticut, a Maduro, and a Habano. And I've smoked now all three of them. I'd probably say the Maduro is the best of the three. This Habano was interesting. It's an Ecuadorian Habano, Rosado wrapper, Jalapa binder, and a combination of Nicaraguan and Dominican filler made at AJ Fernandez. When I lit this cigar up, it was really woody, is what I'll just say. And I didn't think this. I was like, this cigar is probably going to be one dimensional. Was kind of like my feeling on this thing. But I kind of worked it into the second, third, and then it started. There were a lot more flavors that started popping out of that, including that baker's spice that I like. It just took a little while for the cigar to get going on here. It's a classic Fred Rui medium strength, medium bodied cigar. So he doesn't make it. Yeah, he doesn't go powerhouse with it. Solid cigar. It's a $7.50 cigar. I gave it a $5. Like I said, after I got through that first third, I enjoyed it a lot more. But it was very, very woody up front, which sometimes I don't like a lot of woody notes. But they'll subside, and a lot of more flavors will start to emerge in that second third.
Do you like a lot of woody notes?
Anyway, who put this cigar out for him? Who did the collaboration?
What? Wait, hold on. Your headset's cutting in now. I don't know what's going on there. You gotta jiggle the cable. It's the outstanding technology we have here in the studio.
Where's the wireless fucking thing? Excuse me.
Don't lose the cigar.
You know something? Mike Felody, whatever. We're not going to go with that. Who was the collaboration with again? AJ Fernandez, you said?
AJ Fernandez, he's making it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
I smoked the smallest cigar that we've ever reviewed on the show.
Real quick, Paul. I
Yeah.
wasn't sure you had the rights. Was it the one I sent you?
No.
Okay, so it wasn't in that little box?
No.
Okay,
that looked like the same size, though.
It looks like the same size. That's why I thought it was that. So it's the Nat. It is a Nat Sherman.
It is a Nat Sherman cigarillo.
Okay, I'll correct that. Yeah, I changed that back. I'll change that back.
The Flor de Silva Petite looks like it's the same exact size, which is
That's why I was wondering.
3.5 by 22. And this is smaller than a cigarette.
And you got Nate.
No, yeah, Will was confused. He thought it was the one that he.
Okay,
I have some Flor de Silva.
I'm all messed up.
Will sent me some Flor de Silva Petites, but I managed to acquire a Nat Sherman cigarillo that someone had given me.
It looked. I tell you, they look.
They look
similar.
exactly the same. They
Yeah.
do. Yeah, because there's no band on it or anything like that. But 3.5 by 22. I don't know. Do you call it a? It's not a cigar. It's a cigarillo. So I'm saying it's the smallest cigar we've ever reviewed. It's cigarillo is just different. I don't know.
Cigarillo is.
You got to jiggle your cable again. This is.
That's my wife says. It doesn't work anymore.
You got to jiggle it. There you go. You're good.
Oh my God. Cigarillos to me is for the guy that doesn't. Oh God.
They don't want to get committed to a cigar.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I'm not saying. I'm just saying a personal opinion. It's a guy's afraid to smoke a cigar.
Right. Yeah. No, I
really.
agree.
And I'm not saying it's wrong.
Like this wasn't for me. Like I'd rather have a petite Corona.
Bingo.
You know what I mean? Petite
Bingo.
Corona is perfect. For
How
me.
much? How much tobacco? Chime in here, Taylor. How much tobacco can you put in a cigarillo?
Almost none.
Thank
Yeah.
you. That's my point.
Yeah, it's again to even count it as a cigar. It's not blended. It's as you said, Coop. It's typically one leaf.
Right.
And it
exactly.
wasn't-
That's my one.
But it wasn't bad. Had some wood notes, a little bit of sweetness. But it was over before it was even getting started.
Yeah.
That's why I like that Crux Sports I just talked about.
You
I
know
had a little
something?
more-
The connoisseur. What's that? The 38 ring.
The Connoisseur is a 38 ring. That's
Yeah, right.
bigger.
I know it's bigger, but that's as small as I go. Because you can only do so much with ratio and placement.
I had it as a $5. I mean, because you can't really just buy
Wow.
one of these, but the flavors were still good. And I mean, there are some burritos that I smoked that have been really good, and it's one leaf. This one, I still thought it was a $5 because it was good. Again,
I'm too old for that shit.
yeah.
What's next? Move on.
Okay, moving on.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to be such an ass.
No, it's fine.
Can I just throw something out? Paul happened to ingrace us with his presence at a Tatawahe event. We have some black Corona Gordas from Tatawahe right now. As we would say, Stogie Geeks would say, smoke them while you got them. Paul, elaborate on that.
You think they're going?
Oh, no. I think they're at the prime right now. Do you disagree or agree?
No, they're awesome. I've always thought they're awesome.
Well, the way you took that down, I think it was pretty impressive. You're not a fast smoker to begin with. I was at the table,
awesome.
and I'm talking to Paul, and all I hear is, yeah, okay. And it's like, what do you think?
I smoked through I smoked through the bundle because they originally released in bundles before they were a jar.
Yeah.
I smoked through that, and then I'm almost through my jar, one of the jars I have, and I have a whole other full jar, and I'm worried that if I break in the second jar, like I want to have another jar as backup to that one.
I got to back up to that. I don't
These
have
are
any more.
you got to have a deep inventory of these in your humidor. And I don't want to say that they're underfilled or that they smoke fast and burn hot, but they're so smokable. It definitely played into my rating on this cigar because not only is like the flavors off the charts, but like they're effortless to smoke. They never burn hot, and there's never a construction issue with them.
I can't give it an Oasis, but I'll tell you.
No, I gave it away. I would give it Oasis.
I can't get there yet with it, but it's box-worthy plus.
It's got to be Fight Chuck Norris. No?
I don't give many. I can see if you do it. I can see. I will never discount that. But at this time, if you have any black Corona Gordas from Tat, smoke them up right now as you got them.
And buy more.
They're going regular. They're going regular production, by the way.
Yeah, on the blacks.
On the blacks. 5 size. There'll be
five sizes. Right.
And I hope that blend stays the same when they do that.
But go back to what Skip said. You can only do so much what you have.
Yeah.
And he's one of the few people that said that. Think about what he said.
Yep.
That's the most, whatever. Next. I got a man crush on him. So.
Speaking of Tatawahe, I kind of smoked a.
You kind of smoked, or you smoked?
Oh, that wasn't a good endorsement, was it?
No. Well, I kind of smoked I smoked a cigar that was kind of a Tatawahe. It's the Henry Clay Tattoo.
Oh.
So I'm curious.
You got the Stogie Santa. Oh.
I don't know. If that was
I got a
good or
story
bad.
behind that, but I can't say anything.
Okay. When this cigar came out, it was very rough, in my opinion. It was probably more of a try one. I thought this cigar, it's been out now, I'd say 7 months or so.
Right.
I think it's starting to smooth out a bit more.
Did you upgrade to $5? I think
I upgraded
I was about a
to-
$5 on that.
Yeah, I
couldn't
upgraded it to
get that.
$5. It's a different cigar than it was 7 months ago.
Right.
Is what I'm going to say. This is one that, if you smoked it 7 months ago, you may go angler or try.
I know. We almost need like it's a weak $5 and a strong $5.
You know something?
I think this one's a weaker $5.
A 3 or a 6.
A 3 or a 6.
No,
right?
no.
Yeah.
Coop, go back to what you said. Angler.
When it first came out.
No, I just about call it a.
Throw it off the boat. Is that your?
I gave it throw it off the boat to maybe an angler, maybe because there's I can't say anything, but there's a little story behind that, and I can't say anything.
Well, the story doesn't. The story is what you thought of the cigar, flavor and taste wise.
And no, there's whatever.
So how about them Reds?
Thank you.
Yeah, like I
Did you
said,
do
I
it? Did
found
you smoke that yet? Excuse me, Coop. Did you smoke the Tatawahe
The
tattoo? And they got a tattoo coming out that's different.
I did smoke it. I can't really. It was one of those days when my palate was a little more burned out than it should have.
You're full of shit. Tell the truth.
I am telling the truth. My palate was burned out.
Okay.
See, I thought the
It'd be worth a revisit. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I
I'm done.
interrupted you. Go ahead, Taylor.
I was just going to say it'd be worth a revisit on a clean palate.
Exactly. I think this is a cigar you want to smoke. You definitely want to smoke it on a clean palate. Is what I'll say, and that's when I kind of hit this cigar. The other thing is, I think the strength came down on this cigar. It mellowed considerably, and I think that had a lot.
Good point, Coop. Excuse me. I'll cut you off again. Good point.
Yeah. So I thought like I said, I thought this was a very different cigar, and it's from the same batch 7 months ago because I bought a few of these. So they're from the same batch. I bought them, and they've been sitting in my humidor. So. Everyone's got to make it. I think that I'll give. Here's the thing I'll say about Altadis, that they definitely had a plan to relaunch the Henry Clay brand, and what better way to do it than to market something with Pete Johnson? I mean, so it was.
That's all I'll say.
Stogie Santa, you're not allowed to have 2 martinis from Keith anymore.
No, I was gonna say,
I know. Be careful.
Going into him today?
I know.
Dude, it was as soon as he finished the second martini.
Is Keith still here?
I could see, like,
I need
full
a third
Stogie
one.
Santa, like, when a cigar reaches that, like, oasis point, like, he's at Tatuaje Black level right now. He's...
You
know something? Smoke Tatuaje. That's all I'll say.
Had I brought him down from Black Label to Henry Clay.
No, okay.
I tell you what, stay tuned, audience, because things are going to get interesting from here. That's all I can say.
Is Keith still here? Give me one more.
No,
martinis are like boobs. One is not enough, and 3 is too many.
Yeah,
I've never heard that before.
Yeah, you got your mic off. That's it. You're done. Hold on, wait.
Let's find the bend in this fucking thing. Oh, we're so entertaining. I love it. I tell you, you guys are the best. Anyway, next.
I love everyone. Dude, it's the place that Keith's Martinis takes you, man. You love
it. This guy is unbelievable.
Everyone.
It's called Truth Serum. Okay, anyway.
You have a tent sale tomorrow.
Fuck it. I got workers. I'll price them later.
Be there tomorrow morning for steep discounts. Stogie Santa. $20 more.
What have you got?
There's a reason for a tent sale.
Oh, boy. I smoked a Flor de Crozier Selection number 512 even Magnificos. What's the size on this one, Will?
I will pull it up. I think it's a 52 ring gauge on that thing.
This was really good. I mean, it starts off with a ton of flavor and it just continues throughout the entire cigar.
I never tried it.
Awesome flavors, very smooth, almost like a raisin sweetness with some floral notes. And I tell you what. The whole thing has those flavors. Like, it doesn't lose steam.
Nice
I know you're big on that. Like,
yeah.
with this cigar, it does not lose steam.
And what's the size again, Paul?
I think you said it was a 5x52, Will?
5 7/8 by 52.
Nice size.
Yeah.
Nice size.
Good
Perfect.
cigar.
He's done a good job.
I was impressed.
The Crozier, I know they're a sponsor, but they did a really good job. And that cigar is very well priced, too. I mean, you're looking at cigars in the $6 to $7 range there.
Sweet spot.
Yeah. It's a really, really good cigar.
I called it box worthy.
And again, excuse my ignorance, the breakdown in the binder filler wrapper.
Yeah, do you have the blend information on that one, Will? You sent this one to me recently.
This actually was courtesy of it was in that Espinosa pack who they distribute them. So it kind of came from our sponsor and from Espinosa, but Ecuadorian Habano wrapper, and then it's got a Costa Rican Sumatra binder and a combination of Costa Rican and Dominican filler. And you got to remember they make their cigars in Costa Rica, so it's a good, like I said, solid cigar in the $6 to $7 range.
So that you got enough of that Sumatra sweetness in there. So that's what you're saying.
Yeah, I think that Sumatra sweetness, and I haven't had a lot of Costa Rican Sumatra, but I think there's an intangible there. I think that's a case, where that Sumatra plays very well with that Habano wrapper.
Right, and that's a great point. We had that conversation tonight with with Taylor and I about the EPC, the fifth. Everyone thinks with Sumatra, what do they think of? Spice, right? But I love that undertone of that sweetness. Okay.
No, I agree. Back to you, Will.
So I'll talked about this a little earlier, but I did get a chance to smoke Moy Ruiz's pickle juice.
I want to hear this.
This is a Candela cigar with Nicaraguan binder and filler. In fact, it's all Nicaraguan. We talked about the packaging earlier on, so I don't think we need to go into that. It comes in one size, a 6x50 Toro. What is different about this cigar is they put on and this cigar was made by Eric Espinoza, and it was blended by Hector Alfonso, who we've had Hector on the show. It's got this Oscuro cap, or it's actually a little more than the cap, but there's an Oscuro tip on this cigar. And the idea with that, when I was talking to the Moy Ruiz guys, it was meant to offset some of that grassiness. In fact, when you do a dry draw on this cigar, you will not think it's a Candela, right? 'Cause you're not gonna get any of that. So what I felt is when you light this cigar up, it eases it into the Candela right away. It kind of, you'll get a little bit of that Oscuro on your tongue, and I think it does ease it. It's not an overly grassy cigar by any means. It's more of a sweet herbal note. There's a little bit of a black tea note I got out of this cigar. It's a smoke-producing cigar. And we were talking in the segment with Skip about Fomorian, and I agree 100%. Fomorian will generate a lot of smoke. This one generated even more. There was a high level of smoke production that I hadn't seen on a Candela. It's a medium in terms of strength and body. So it's not. It's one of the more bolder Candelas you'll find out there. Now I don't know if age will mellow that considerably. I can't tell. But this was on one. I'm basing this on one cigar. It was a upper echelon Candela from that experience, and I gave it a box worthy.
Wow.
As I smoke more of these, I could go. I don't know how that's going to go, but I'm just saying, the first impression of that cigar, these guys created a very good Candela that I think is going to be talked about. Now that it's hit the market, I'm really curious to see what the consumer reaction is on that.
Pickle juice and Candela. Yeah, it's like an oxymoron.
It is.
Throwing that out.
Yeah, no. Like pickle juice, I use in like my Bloody
Sour.
Marys. I take a little pickle and I put it on the
Right.
skewer kind of thing. Like it goes with that whole flavor profile.
Yeah.
And if you have a Bloody Mary with olives and pickles and all that stuff,
Right.
I can't find cigars that go well with that cocktail
yeah,
at all. Like they're just.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Danny Moya, who we've had on the show, the Moya part of Moya Ruiz, and I talk to him regularly. Really good guy. He kind of got into this concept of pickle juice because there's a lot of things pickle juice is used for. For example, it's used as a cure for dehydration, right? So he kind of had this thing in his head, and then I guess Hector from La Zona showed him some of these Candelas that he was working on, and he fell in love with one of them. And he said, "Yeah, I want one of these," and then decided to just incorporate this pickle juice concept he was toying around with in his head. And that's kind of how that happened. It was kind of, he wasn't planning on making a Candela with that. He just had this concept in his head about pickle juice, all the effects of it. So that's how it ended up happening. Because Moya Ruiz, they name all their cigars after games normally. This is not named after a game, obviously.
I would think so.
If you're playing the pickle game.
But I did tell Danny one thing. There was a Philadelphia Eagles game in Dallas very early in Andy Reid's career, and it was like very hot on the field. And Andy Reid gave the Philadelphia Eagles pickle juice to offset the dehydration. Danny didn't know that story, so it was used in a game. I told him on that, and apparently the Eagles won that game, and the pickle juice was one of the folklore stories with the Eagles.
I smoked a Christoph Cristania Toro.
It's an older cigar, but a good one.
It is, and I tell you what, I literally pulled this right out of Jared's pocket from Christoph. Like, I need a cigar to smoke. I'm like, what's that? And I pulled it out of his shirt pocket, and I smoked it yesterday, the day before, and this cigar is all about sweetness, man. Like, I got a ton of sweetness throughout this entire cigar. And I don't know how long this one was aged, but it was very smooth. This is a lower price offering, almost like a value
price.
Yeah, value price cigar. I was impressed. I called it box worthy. I mean, I would work this in my regular rotation.
I find the Maduro delivers better for me.
They do make a Cristania Maduro. Yeah,
I think the Cristania Maduro has a more richness flavor to it. So if you want that sweetness factor, I see where you're going with that.
Yeah, I'm going to try the Maduro after smoking this one, too.
The Maduro has that, Maduro, as we can all, I think, we all attest and maybe agree, everyone thinks Maduro as strength.
Not always.
Well, that's because you're in the business. But I'm just saying, but I think a richness.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Taylor, and I talked about this, I think, last week. Not your Maduro, but that new Selección Oscuro, which I thought was an incredible. I really enjoyed that cigar a lot. And that was an example of an Oscuro. It's a dark wrapper, but it was more of a medium, I thought, and just really accentuated the flavors in that thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Just a note on this Cristania Toro that I smoked. It's a Nicaraguan Criollo Habano. I would work it into my rotation to kind of offset some of the Connecticut's I smoke because I find it to be medium bodied, but light enough where I can smoke it in the morning.
See, I find Habano, what I find, not in every, but Maduros, when I smoke too much, I get the acid in the back. Yeah, exactly. Habano, to me, does not have that.
Yeah, it's a good morning. Yeah, it's a good morning
just
smoke.
Throwing that out there, and what that's what's difficult. If you go to and Coop, you could and Tyler could also. Taylor could also. I always call him Taylor. It's the second martini. Anyway, Taylor will also agree with this. You go to Vegas, you get a dry climate with a Maduro. It just doesn't mix.
No,
it doesn't mix.
But then you go to Miami Beach in July.
Yeah,
and you have the same. It's the opposite. You can't have a Maduro.
It's true.
Or New Orleans on the street. Smoking on the street.
How about me and Coop? We were Coop constant. It was like you can't smoke outside.
No.
You can't do it.
And there's no place to smoke inside.
I don't care if you're smoking a Dutch Master. You're it's so wet.
If I had a filter on that phone. Stogie Santa.
I tell you what, exactly. If I would, Coop is the most politically correct individual I've ever met in my life. If I would have just posted half the things that he and every one, by the way, was correct, spot on. It's amazing. It's just New Orleans. I think I could deal with the smoking concept of I'll take Vegas any day. Yeah. At least you can smoke indoors and get a little. Well,
so Will, you did Unbanded 107?
Yes, I did.
But okay, good.
Okay,
because that's the one I did too. So good. We're in sync.
Okay, just tell me what it is if I can guess.
So we'll describe it and then we'll see if you can get. I have it in the envelope right here. So maybe I'll give you the honors opening up the envelope.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay. So Will, this
Keith, where are you?
Yeah,
you're gonna trust martinis.
You're gonna trust a guy who's 2+ martinis deep to open an
trust
envelope.
Me, I have the most.
He said 2. 3 is too many. 2 is okay.
No, 6 is too many. I have a tolerance.
You're Irish, right?
Yeah. That's the only thing that's
and it's St. Patrick's Day.
That's it.
Will, Unbanded 107 was a.
I love Unbanded. Unbanded is the best thing of the show.
Do we have a picture we could put up?
I don't know if I took a picture of this one to put up on the.
Oh, come on!
I know I failed.
You, Mr. Geek. We got two of the most geekiest persons alive.
I know there was a picture. There's a picture in the notes though.
There is a picture on the website.
Yeah.
This was a Habano colored wrapper. It was a Robusto-ish size cigar.
I thought it was more of a Corona.
Corona Gorda. Yeah. Corona Gorda.
Okay, whatever. Corona Gorda.
Do you think it's 6x46?
I thought it was like a 5x44 even.
Okay.
But it was I thought it was it looked like, I couldn't tell if it was a lighter Habano or very weathered Connecticut shade.
Yeah, it was definitely a light wrapper. I thought it was a good cigar. It had some good wood and earth notes to it. No. A little bit of spice up front, and it kind of settled down, and it was an enjoyable smoke. I wouldn't rate higher than a 5, in my opinion.
Was there spice throughout?
No, there was just some spice in like the first third, right? Will, is that what you got too? I got some spice in the first third. and then it pretty quickly dissipated, maybe about halfway through the first third.
Yeah, I had a little bit of Paul syndrome with the wrapper on this one when I got into the second half.
Sorry, Taylor. Paul syndrome is when you have a problem with the construction of a cigar.
There's no one that's
you
just
give
what
me
it is.
Nothing worse than I'm right there with you.
Give me a cabinet of 100 cigars. I pick the one that has like some
1% or half a percent of
Yeah.
EPCs. He'll get.
I'll find them. I'll find them
Yeah,
for you.
I'll find them. Yeah.
Fly me down to the factory.
like
I'll find them all for you.
You're like the pig that finds the truffle.
Yes.
Yeah, but I thought I had to, like I said, it was a mild, maybe more of a mild to medium.
Medium.
I'd
I
say.
would call it mild.
And woody
medium.
notes
Mild, man.
and
Guys,
spice.
Woody notes and spice, yeah, a little bit of sweetness, but there was some spice up front on that cigar.
So it's got to be.
I got a little earthiness, like a little. It had an earthiness component.
So
Yeah.
so we got a little bit of Nicaraguan in there.
yeah.
We have a little. Probably we got to have some. We got to have some kind of Dominican in there. We got to. We got.
It's got to be a Nicaraguan and Dominican in there. Yeah, to present those profiles
it's-
we just mentioned. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's Sherman.
I would say Nicaraguan and Dominican in the filler. The
Yeah, I
wrapper, I don't.
I just don't want to make a disclaimer and embarrass
you
anyone.
can, but dude,
See,
with these unbandeds, like
I
looked
love
like,
unbended.
I
I
know
love
because you
unbendeds.
never know. I mean, this could be a cigar Will and I rated Oasis. Well, maybe not Oasis,
Oh,
but we could
I'll
rate
tell
the
you.
cigar
No,
really
I
high or
disagree.
really low.
You guys go Oasis. It's 90%.
Yeah, no, we would know if we smoked an Oasis cigar. Other than that,
I went back and forth if this was a weathered Connecticut shade or a light Habano.
I'll go
I don't think
Habano.
I don't think it
Habano.
was Connecticut. I think it's Habano. Well, the way it's smoked was not, and I smoked a shitload of Connecticut.
Any
that was-
acidity to the cigar?
No,
No, that's why I didn't think.
no, there wasn't Connecticut.
That's not.
It wasn't,
was
that's
not
why I didn't think
Connecticut.
it was U.S. Connecticut on there.
No. It
So what
can't
was your
be.
rating on the cigar, Will?
Fiver.
All right.
So Will and I both rated this woody, earthy, little bit of spice up front. What may be a Habano wrapper, likely a 5x46 or 6x46. I'd say 5x46.
It's too big for a Corona Gorda,
Yeah, I don't know.
provided by the pitcher.
I think just the band is in there. So Will, you're gonna have to use the. Yes, you do have a picture of it. Hold on, let's put the picture up. They do have a picture of it. See, we did. Yeah, there it is, right there. Look, there's a picture of it.
Okay, there we go. Now, we said sweetness, right?
Yeah, it was like an earthy. It was more earth to me than sweetness. Will I don't know? I didn't get a ton of sweetness on this.
Touch of sweetness. I got a touch, but not a lot.
We're close. Not
Let's see what it is. Drum roll.
Dutch Masters.
I was going to make that joke.
White Owl.
Headley Grange.
Headley Grange. So what size is that in the Headley Grange, Will?
Let me look that up.
Use the internet. Look it up. No, that makes sense now.
The sweetness.
Not a whole lot of sweetness, though. No.
See, and I'm not a Crowned Heads hater. I just want to make that. I just want to make that little comment.
Okay.
And I
But
appreciate
it was-
in
I think
honor
it
of
was-
me something that comes out of Ernesto's factory.
There you
was-
go.
That
it
means
was-
a lot,
it was-
guys.
There you
Thank
go.
you.
It was a good cigar. I mean,
no,
Will and I
it was
both
a
rated
good
it fiver, yeah.
Five and five.
But they made the wrong switch.
Yeah, no, I thought it was like I said. I did have a little bit of Paul syndrome, but it
No.
looked I tell you what. Now I'm looking at my picture of it. I can see it as a Headley Green. But yeah, 5 5/8 by 46 Corona Gorda.
And the breakdown in the tobacco, we know what it is.
Well, we had the Nicaraguan binder and filler, right? But
See?
it's Sumatra wrapper.
Yeah, but no,
wrapper.
listen to what we're
Interesting.
saying, though. We said sweetness. We said Nicaraguan. We weren't that far. I
No,
mean,
we
and-
weren't. Yeah, we were pretty close.
Well,
yeah.
about 40% of it. So, I
was
think
good.
there's nothing better. Whoever sent this in, this is great because this
No,
way
we do
here.
this on our own now.
This is Keith who did this.
Keith goes and buys the cigars and unbands it for us and does the
Yeah,
whole
why
thing.
can't I? I'll start
You
doing
want to
it.
get in on it? Get in on it.
I don't know anything about it. I'll try. Oh, I got the wrong. Oh, there's another wrapper in here. Oh, there's another one in here.
What do you mean? There's two of them in there?
There's two of them in there? They're both
Oh.
Headley Grange.
Oh, I can't say the other one
Boy,
because it was two cigars.
Two different cigars?
No, you both smoked the same thing.
Oh, yeah, so there was two bands in there.
Right.
Yeah. No, they're both the same. That's what we get for the guy with two martinis. You do the unbanded.
oh man.
So anyway, I got to break a little Stogie Geeks news, because since you won't bring it up, my intelligence level at times is very low. I have a
forgetfulness and intelligence aren't.
Oh, well, they're very close.
They're mutually exclusive.
So I got to tell a little story. So in my backyard, I have a shed.
But you also have a pocket knife, a phone, and a wallet,
Well,
a lighter, and a cutter, which you lose on a consistent basis. So when he calls me up with this story, I'm like,
no.
yeah.
So I call up Paul. I said, Paul, I got a problem. He says, what is it, cigars or something? I says, no, I can't get into my shed. I locked the keys on my shed.
We heard. Go ahead. This is a good story.
So I said, can you come over and help me? He says, well, what's I can't unlock it. He says, well, I'm an expert picker of locks.
No, I did not say that.
He did not say that. No, he did not say that.
I
No. I'll do the best I can do.
Yeah, I have a certain skill level. I'm not the best at it.
No, again, see how he downplays it? I'm gonna bring my son Braden over.
I did say that.
Now, he did say that. Braden is 6 years old, very, very intelligent. He's 8 now? Oh, my God. 8, very intelligent, much more than Paul and I. And we spent close to about a half an hour. Paul's over the tap. And
I called it before. I'm like, dude,
stop it. It's my story.
Sorry.
Thank you. So Paul says he's picking out all these things. He's acting like he's intelligent. And I'm sitting here like stupid. Paul said, I'm going to tap this thing.
Bump.
It's a bump it, whatever. I'm not
key.
that. Paul's trying to. So
I have a special hammer and everything.
Yeah, he's got the hammer. He's got the chisel. He's got everything. Pop, 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 pop. So I said, oh, my God. I said, Paul, just stop it. He's jiggling it. I have no idea what he's doing. He knows 10 times more than me. He goes, Mark, there's nothing we can do. I said, you sure? I said, Paul. And to his credit, I give him tons of credit. He's half hour, maybe 45 minutes into it, and he bumps it last time. He goes, Mark, I don't think I can do it. I said, no. And then the door opens. His son kicks the door and it opens up.
While we were having the conversation, I'm like,
YouTube would have been the best visual you ever seen.
We turn around. Braden's standing there with the door like wide open, like, hey guys, I got it open. I'm like, what did I tell you? Braden was going to get it open. I'm like, I told you it was going to be him, not me.
Yeah, right. He says, he goes, I look at Braden, and I've been saying this since Braden has been a year old. It's called the Braden face, just like Paul. When Paul gets frustrated with employees and cigars and whatever, there's a face that I probably only know. Coop, maybe you may even know.
He calls it the Braden face.
Yeah, called the Braden face. He kicked that door open, and this kid's proud as a peacock. The face on Paul's like,
he just showed me up.
And then Mark realized his keys were in his pocket the whole time.
No.
Then we get in the shed.
I can't find the keys.
We get in the shed. Mark, that was the best part. One of the best parts of the story.
I can't find the goddamn keys.
We high five Braden. He finally smiles. He gets
Right.
the Braden face.
Oh, I'm
Finally
so happy.
smiles. Right.
I found the keys. The best part in my jeans.
They were in your pocket the whole time. We get in the shed. Both my kids, Braden's 8, Dean's 3.
And
we're
Dean
all
was so
looking we're all looking for the keys in the shed. Like, where are the keys? They're in the shed somewhere.
I got these keys everywhere, right? So, I had a little misfortune that week. Anyway, I'm looking. My wife said, wait. I said, don't call me. Don't tell me what I'm doing. My wife.
They're in your jeans.
Yeah, she goes in she said, I hear jingling. I says, well, there's only one thing we can do. I said, Braden put him there. You had to be there. You had to YouTube this
Stogie
thing.
Santa gives me a Cohiba Lancero. I go to smoke it. It's plugged.
No. I'll give you another one.
You don't
This
give me
thing
another
is
one. No.
I gotta get.
That's what we smoked.
And that's what I was telling Will. I told Will the whole story. I'm like, he gave me a Cohiba Lancero. I was all excited.
Again.
I'm like, and then it was plugged.
It's a great cigar.
And the best part, to elaborate this, guess who's sitting on my lawnmower? Coop. He said, I'm sitting in my goddamn shed, right? Coop is on my lawnmower. I said, I got no seats to sit. He's sitting on the lawnmower
Smoking his Cohiba Lancero. This is a great cigar. Can we go mow the grass now?
Killing me. My back is killing me. I don't want to tell him my back hurts.
He's like this. Now, if anyone knows, he's sitting there, he's in a hunchback at Notre Dame. This fucking thing is good. I said, Coop, you can't even sit straight. Jesus Christ. Whatever. It's a visual. That's what I love. I tell you something.
totally
Stogie
picture it.
Geeks is the best. We
You don't owe me no cigar because
I got another one.
both my kids went in your house afterwards and ate your whole refrigerator.
This kid. No, his son Dean.
Cheese, pepperoni, crackers.
I'm saying, feed this goddamn kid. I got no more cheese.
Food.
Oh, he's putting. And then I turn around. Think I'm being the ultimate parent. He loves cheese. I put cheese on the Triscuit and I melt it. He licks the cheese off.
Yeah. Mark melts it in the microwave, and Dean looks at it. He's like, "What the fuck?
What the fuck is
this?"
He gets the cracker. Okay, enough. You had to be there.
We'll come over every weekend.
Oh,
It's fine.
it is because I went through kind of a difficult time, and I told my wife these two kids made me laugh so much. So anyway, it's something I had to share with you.
Every day in my life.
It is. That's why kids bring. There is no sorrow. I had to bring that up.
Ask Brayden where his jeans are.
In my pocket?
No, maybe. Kid changed his pants. Brand new jeans, wore them once. Can't find them anywhere.
I love that kid.
He's like, I hid them. Then he's like, my friend hid them. I looked for an hour and a half. I couldn't find the jeans.
Oh, it was like don't feel bad when they get older, and like I said, their older sister gets married, and they all lose their cufflinks in the hotel.
It never
room.
ends, does it?
It
Will?
doesn't end, is what I'm saying.
The best
20 years older.
I had this guy, I had no idea. He came from New Hampshire or Vermont, whatever. He said the best story ever here was the one on the beach. He said, you guys had me in tears.
Oh, the lifeguard.
The lifeguard one.
All right, well, do another cigar, and then I'm going to get to my fight.
I'm done.
Okay, so I actually have 3 Padrones. Now, then we'll do to round out this segment.
Yeah,
3
you got to
Padrones?
talk about these Padrones. You got to talk about these Padrones.
So Will sends me these Padrones, right? And they're Parejo cigars. They're not box pressed or anything. They got this like weird. I can show you the picture. Like this weird band on them. I mean, it's a Padron band, but it's not a Padron band.
Oh, I'm going to bring a Padron band from way
I remember
back.
Will telling me something at some point. Like, I'm sending in some Padrones. They're special. It was only for a store. Blah 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 blah. So actually, the first one I lit up was a natural. It wasn't a, so I got one in natural, one in Maduro. And so I'm like, I really want to smoke these Padrones because they look just so awesome. So I start smoking the natural, and I'm like, this thing's pretty awesome. And just walk around, do my thing, working, and I'm like, this thing's really awesome. I'm like, what is? I mean, the nice, awesome spice off this natural wrapper. Just a great balance of spice and sweetness. Like we were talking about, like a balanced cocktail. You know, you put bitters in it, or you put lemon or lime in it, and you kind of balance that with some sweetness, either from a liquor or some sugar syrup. This Padron Natural is just awesome. Awesome cigar. Awesome cigar. So I'm like, well, that was Fight Chuck Norris, which is awesome. I'm like, now I got to try the Maduro. So the next day I light the Maduro up. I'm smoking the Maduro, and I'm like, holy crap, this thing is
Better.
This thing is like, it feels like the taste is like I'm eating a chocolate bar that has like salt in it. It's like a salty chocolate bar with these like awesome sweetness notes and just amazing. I'm like, this thing is, and I'll make a confession. Brenda that works next door, anytime I have like a really interesting or like weird cigar flavor or like one that's just totally awesome, I'm like, dude, try this. So she takes a drag of this Maduro and she's like, well, you got to get more of those. She's like, that is like amazing. I'm like, right? I'm like, I'm not crazy. I'm like, this is like, she's like my litmus test. I'm like, I'm not crazy. Like, this thing is friggin' awesome, right? She's like, yeah, this thing's awesome.
Yep.
So on my way home the other day, I call Will. I'm like, dude, the only thing I need to talk to you about, right? Because Will and I talk like almost every day about like, you know, Stogie Geeks, like business stuff. And sometimes I'm like, no, Will, like we need to talk about these Padrones because they were just so awesome. So this one is Fight Chuck Norris. And I'm like, Will, what? I remember you said they were special. What were they? So these are Padron number 89 for Jose Padron's 90th birthday for Smoke Inn.
I don't know why they're called number 89 because it was his 90th birthday, but the box said number 89.
Right.
But what this was is Jose Padron is turning 90 this year. Smoke Inn did an event back in January for his 90th birthday, which he was in attendance, and these were cigars that were made available for the event, and I managed to get a very, very small amount of them. I mean, most of them went at the event.
Dude, I smoked each one like burning my fingers off, smoking it down to the nub. Both of them I smoked right down to the nub. They were just both Fight Chuck Norris, awesome cigars.
Because they had a smoke in. Did you do the 60 ring that they had?
Oh,
that's what I was telling Will. I'm like, the only like special releases Padrones had. I'm like, was that 60 ring?
Remember we did that?
How awesome that was,
I
right?
couldn't believe. I said, remember we looked at each other. We both looked at the cigar and went,
oh my!
I got some Padrones with the original bands.
Nice.
I can't get any more of these 89s, which is disappointing.
Sure.
I mean, I can't.
No, we have to find. This is.
Well, whatever.
Well,
it's one of the best cigars I reviewed all year. I mean, I tell you that right now. These things were fucking awesome.
I don't know if they're going to be doing more events and have this cigar again.
If you could ever find this cigar, get as many as you can.
Again, the old age in me had. So is it natural and Maduro?
Yeah.
Yes.
They're both Fight Chuck Norris.
I got, you know something? Speaking of Padron, Coop, I hate to throw you under the bus. I've got to switch. I got to come true. I got to come clean. I changed my mind on the 50th.
Really?
The Maduro?
You coming over to the natural side? Yeah.
That's great. There's nothing wrong with the natural.
No. I like the Maduro, but the unique taste of that. What I did.
You know, I've been there since the beginning.
I did 4 of each.
Well, you're lucky. If you give me 8 of them, I'll smoke just
to
solidify your.
Well, I'm kind of old, so I got to do a lot of them to get to understand, so I can tell I got to be an educated consumer, I was right with Coop, and I think my closest.
Are they $50 a pop?
I don't know what they are. It doesn't matter.
That's like $200 worth of cigars.
So.
You only live once. I agree.
You know something? I'd rather spend money smoking cigars than anything else in my life. I can quit booze. I can quit my wife. I can quit everything, but I can't quit cigars. So anyway, no, seriously. But
when someone told me today your kids are with you forever, but your wife is always replaceable. I'm like, that's an awful thing to say. He's like, dude, but it's true, right?
You can't replace your kid.
No, you can't.
Right. So, but I sat there. I think my closest person in palate taste, I've got to say, is Coop. There's no doubt in my mind.
No, you guys are definitely
right on. I went back and forth. I said, I got to put my truth meter up.
No, that's fair.
You know, I meant to tell you that about a couple. I get it now.
This isn't the martinis, right? This is legit.
No, I was straight on. I was trust me, I was out in. I said I got to do this because I did the natural and I thought it was pretty good. I did 2 Maduros. Then I did another Maduro.
That's kind of what I thought.
I said the Maduros. But what I liked, what I liked about the best of it was that clean taste
to the natural.
To the natural. That clean,
that spice.
It's just
like
right there. So anyway, not that it means anything, not that it's going to change their mind, but I got it now.
Now, speaking of Padron, what do you think of the Damaso? Have you done that recently?
No comment.
Have you done it like this week?
I've done it. I've done it enough.
Have you gone back but you go back and try it,
to be honest with you, no. I rather I got a cigar in my hand that I'll smoke before Damaso. It's just not my profile.
Yeah.
I just don't get it. I mean, I can understand someone that does. Good for them. But I just can't get there. You?
Well, I've upgraded my rating on what I think is the number 15. Is that like the Robusto size, Will?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've
upgraded my rating to a 5. Tell you where it started. Less than a 5. There's a bitterness and a sour note that I got from these cigars.
That's what I want in a cigar. Yeah, bitterness and sourness.
I would put it right in that category. It's subsiding a little bit and paving the way for a little mild spice, some like herbal notes and wood, and it's getting better. I think these are going to continue to get better. To me, where they started off was not in my flavor profile. Still not something I would reach for in the morning as like a Connecticut smoke for me.
Yeah. Okay.
But I did upgrade my rating to the 5 on the number 15.
Just don't ask for a receipt. What can I tell you?
I did that. I did that with the Henry Clay, though.
Well, yeah. Be nice. Be nice. Play nice. That's all I say. I got it. And, what I find that where I do my most business with this, and I'll leave it at this rating, I call it new rating, cigar bar rating. That's where.
Cigar bar rating.
Yeah, because in a
You
cigar.
buy it at a cigar bar.
Yeah, that's where. What I call it, I call it Damaso. That's where I wholesale it to.
Interesting.
So I mean, and again, and let me tell you something. To go on to your rating, the 15 is the best one that I sell.
Okay.
So there's something to that.
I did see improvement in it after it had sat for a while.
So
Right.
there's some kind of credence to what you're saying.
Right.
So good for you. You keep smoking them.
Well, no, I don't know if I want to go back and try all the other sizes, to be honest with you, because it just, again, it has a bitterness and sour note to me that just contributed to the other ratings, which were like, try one for some of the other sizes.
Because
to be honest with
ask Coop at the show, there were people just going up and down the aisles just raving about the Damaso. That was the only cigar by Padron that they gave you samples for. Right,
Yeah,
Coop?
they gave out samples of it. Yep.
That's no, just leave it at that.
This size is getting better.
Good for them.
But we all know where it started when we first started rating it. So,
Yep.
but I mean, to have something like that, and then to have something like the 50s we talk about, and then I mean those other two Padron number 89s were just off the charts.
Because what happens, stay where your strengths are. There's so many good Connecticut's on the market. We'll leave it at that.
I would smoke a 64 natural that's got some age on it in the morning,
And it's
way before I would smoke
Isn't
a
that
lot of
interesting?
Connecticut's on the market,
and they're cheaper.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Well,
so
By the way, Paul, we were talking about the 64s. You'll have those ones we talked about in Stogie Geeks News. There's that new 4x54 size,
oh, awesome.
Yeah.
which is it's kind of been soft launched in Charlotte already. So I managed to get a couple of them.
Nice.
And, yeah, and they're good. They're good.
All right, let's do the contest question for this week.
how many times did I get up to go to the bathroom?
How many?
Oh,
maybe
that's the
3.
contest question.
There you go. You have to
been
watch
paying
the whole
attention?
show.
I'm
only
got
kidding.
that. That's not
Okay,
the contest
no.
question. The contest question is, according to Skip Martin, who is the best smelling man in cigars?
Oh, that's a great one.
First and last name. Who
That's
is
a
the
great
best
one.
smelling man in
There you
cigars,
go.
according to Skip Martin? Email to answer that question, the show at
Great call.
StogieGeeks.com. You get the fabulous 5-pack of cigars, which is
Fabulous.
something from M. Bombay, which is an A-size cigar. You get the Partagas, is it an 1865 6x60?
1845 double Corona.
1845 double Corona, thank you. You get a Saga, I think that's a Golden Age Robusto.
Yep.
You get the Sun-Grown Robusto box pressed by Rocky Patel, and you get a PDR that looks like a Sun-Grown with the blue and silver band.
Blues de Habano.
Is the Habano, thank you.
Yep.
Blue's the Habano. So you get like one cigar from each of
Well,
some
and
of our
what
sponsors.
I'm going to do, so also, what size do you want in the debonair?
In the Debonair,
You call it, and I'll bring it.
in the natural, I
A
like
natural Maduro, whatever
I
you
like
want.
the natural Sagita.
Sagita will be.
I like the floral notes I get from that cigar.
I really
do.
You and Coop make the call, so.
That's the one that I like.
I would have asked for something hard to find, like the 33rd degree.
Well, yeah, that's an epic.
That's
cigar.
make 'em work
Make
for
'em
it.
work for it.
If that's what you want, that's what we'll do.
So we'll see. You'll get a Debonair cigar. We'll see what we can dig up. How about that? Email the answer to the show at StogieGeeks.com. Make sure you tune in every Thursday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time for the show, up until May 9th. From May 9th moving forward, every Monday night at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time is when we'll record the show. Making a little change.
From Thursday to Mondays.
I don't like
Thursday to
change.
Mondays.
Yep.
May 9th.
Change is a good
Change
word.
is good.
That's right.
It will prevent me from having to do both of my shows back to back on Thursday nights,
And it makes you more efficient.
for a lot of reasons. Believe me, it makes sense. I mean, we have to compete with Monday Night Football, but we have to compete with Thursday Night Football. So,
Wait,
What's better than Monday Night Football is 9 o'clock. It's perfect. What's better than turn the TV down on Monday Night Football, get a cigar and listen to us. I think that's a great concept.
Absolutely.
The other thing, too, is we do compete with the cigar events on Thursday, so this will be a better thing.
And then we'll have a Monday night cigar to compete with the game. We'll make it worth it. Make it worth it.
We'll make it worse sometimes, too.
Yeah, right. Whatever it is.
Thanks, everyone, for watching Stogie Geeks. Make sure you stay tuned. StogieGeeks.com, cigar-coop.com. Thanks, everyone, for watching.
Great show.